So before I made the last video where I was sort of riding this high of normalcy of a good average week, I'd somehow forgotten the weekend that was coming up. This weekend, this time of year, is a bit of a rough one for me. A couple of years ago, there was some stuff that I was going through, but the reason that this particular time of the year is difficult is because a relationship ended, and yeah, and that relationship was one that meant a lot to me. It was one that saved me in a lot of ways. I'd come to really despise myself, really blame myself for a lot of things that were put on me. Had come to see myself as a monster and as a villain, just so that I could, I don't know, live with the things that people were telling me. And being with this person pulled me out of that misery, and she saved me in lots of different ways. She saved me, most of all from my own self-pity and from myself. And so having that relationship end, and I guess put so much stock into it, well, I guess that was not necessarily fair. It still meant that something that I was leaning on and depending on just sort of crashed. It came a little bit out of nowhere, so it dragged me down really deep. And for the last 2 years around this time, I kind of relived that crash, that sort of rug pulled from under me feeling, where I don't know what to do and I don't know how to move forward. And the last couple of days has definitely been that again. The relationship I mean, let's be honest. This is the relationship I thought was going to be it. It was going to be the forever relationship, and it wasn't. Even though we'd only, I guess, been together for about 10 months at that point. We're a couple of months shy of a year, and now it's been 2 years since then, and I still can't move on. There's just no one I want touching me or loving me in that way. Even though in a way I do crave those feelings. I crave being in love again and feeling loved by someone. I can't see it happening anymore, not with anyone else. I honestly don't know if she's gonna see this or not, and I don't know if I'd want her to. And she's moved on. And I don't necessarily want to drag her into my shit. It's a cliche, but I want her to be happy. I want her to be happy to be with me, but that's not going to happen. So I just want her to be happy, period. like sitting really, really still because my chest feels on fire and like a brick at the same time. I can't move. Whenever I start talking about her or thinking about her, I can't move. I replay all of these things in my head. And not just this time of year, I do this all the time. I replay the breakup, I replay things that happened before the breakup, and things right after, and reimagine what I could have done, should have done, could have said, should have said. Think about whether there's anything I could say or do now and honestly, if somebody said to me, if you do this or say this, then things will change. I probably would. I would try it. But at the same time, I don't want to lose the friendship that we still have and the opportunities that we do have to spend with each other every once in a while. I don't want her to step away from me completely. And I cherish those, so I don't want to lose that too. I don't want to risk it for a what if that is probably just in my imagination. And I also don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be that guy that just keeps hammering at the same thing over and over again, and exhausting her by bringing up the same shit and by asking the same questions, by asking for second chances and for her to take another risk. I don't want to be that guy. It might sound like I just quit, or as if I don't think that she's worth fighting for, which she is. God, she's worth fighting for. But I don't know that she wants me to do that, and I just want to respect her wishes. I wish there was a way that I could make sure she knew that she was worth fighting for without actually doing it. And risking her staying away. I send her messages sometimes, not in real life. It's sort of a pretend life. I just send her messages of I miss yous and I love yous and screenshots of poems I see that make me think of her, or songs and lyrics that just really hit hard. And then I think about her receiving those messages. Think about her face. Think about her smiling at them. God, that look on her face when she would smile and look at me. Still have that carved in my brain. And it's the most beautiful look anyone has ever given me. I guess a part of me always knew that she was a little too good to be true. That I didn't deserve her. That I'd just done too many things wrong to deserve someone like her. I deserve a relationship like that. The other thing I imagine, or at least sort of have in my head, in addition to that smile and that look, is her voice. A couple of recordings she sent me back then of her singing. I love her voice. I love hearing her sing. So when I send those messages in not real life, I hear her voice in the back of my head too. It's like ringing right now. Yeah, this weekend's hard. Tomorrow is 2 years since the breakup. A day I kind of wish I had back, honestly. 'Cause I don't like that I just walked away that evening. I should have stayed. I should have just sat there. If for nothing else, just to symbolically say that I'm still here. I walked away that evening because I thought I just needed to think about it, to reflect on what had happened so I could figure out the why, but I should have just stayed. That's when I should have told her that she was worth fighting for, not now. The other stuff that was happening around the same time, it just sort of exhausted me, and I didn't have the fight in me, but I should have rallied anyway. I should have rallied and come up with just enough energy to do it. That was a lousy excuse. I wonder about what she thought about me walking away that evening and telling her that I wanted to fight but couldn't. It's 2 years too late in asking these questions, but I told myself that I was going to be honest with myself and doing these videos, so just being honest with myself that I haven't moved on. that I'm making no efforts to move on, honestly. Because I don't want to. Feeling connected to her through heartbreak means so much more to me than being connected to someone else. Yeah, I guess I'd rather have that than be with anyone else. It's a little pathetic. There's no way I would tolerate this from a friend. Like, if someone I cared about told me this, there's no way I would tolerate it, but there it is. There's my truth. That I'm in love with the same woman that I've been in love with for going on almost 3 years now. That I wasn't strong and brave enough to fight for. That I lost because I didn't have my shit together. And with that, I'm gonna go wallow in some espresso or something. Thanks for listening, if you did.